All right, so I have the moneyballer.com here, and we are going to the WNBA page. And we have the Sun versus the Liberty. Liberty are actually favored on the road here. Sun 9-0 on the season, Liberty 9-2. Doesn't look like we have any situational notes here. Just looking at the schedule, and I know this because we've been capping the WNBA for a while now. But the Liberty, they've had a pretty easy schedule in my opinion. If you look at some of their opponents, I mean they've already faced the Fever three times. They faced Washington already, put up 90 against them. They actually stayed under their team total here against Atlanta. They barely got over their team total against Chicago here. I remember that because I had the 87 and Sabrina took a three with like 14 seconds left, got over that. And then if you look at the Sun side, I mean, defensively, they're definitely top notch, uh, the best in the league for sure. Like they kept Washington to 59, Atlanta to 50. Obviously, they're not really needing to score too much in these games, but I think they're a very capable team of putting up points. If we look at some of the splits here, I mean, from a spread perspective, nothing really significant popping out. If we look at the over under, definitely look towards the under here. Look at that first half under at home, 5-1 to the under in the first half, off of win, 6-2 to the under. Liberty on the road, an under type team as well. Now let's get to the stats here. This is my favorite part when we're handicapping WNBA. We have the Sun here, number one in defensive rating, number one in offensive rating. And I kind of talked about that earlier. I think this number here, this offensive rating for the Liberty, I feel like it's a little bit misleading based on who they played. Like I said, they played the Fever three times already, and they're one of the worst defensive rated teams in the league. Going to the four factor, I mean, and look at the pace here, pace of play. Sun last in pace of play, so slowest team in the league. Liberty here at ninth. Looking at four factors, I feel like they're pretty even here. One thing to point out is the Sun, number one in turnover rate forced. So they're forcing a lot of turnovers. If we look at scoring here, I mean, you can see this here. I mean, top two in points per game allowed, and that's a combination of pace of play and their defensive rating. Obviously, they're ninth in fast break points. They don't play with pace here. Um, Everything else seems to line up pretty well. If we look at within the arc, um, the Sun defense within the arc, paint field goal percentage allowed 10th versus Liberty first in paint field goal percentage as a team, but they're not up there as far as paint attempts per game. If we look at mid range, both really strong in the mid range, and they don't defend it too well. Sort of like bottom third of the league. If we look at three point percentage, 3-point shooting here, both really struggling from above the break so far this season. Both defending it well. We look at the corner three. Liberty shooting a lot of corner threes here, second in the league in corner threes. Well, four is not a lot, but they're second in corner three attempts, and the Sun are defending it well. So let's look at the home road split here, and this sticks out a lot here. So Liberty come down to 11th in pace of play, and the Sun continue to play in the slowest pace. Defense here, still first, not getting to the free throw line on the road here, and they're turning the ball over a lot and not doing great as far as defensive rebounds. Here, I don't think there's too much of a change. I mean, the Suns' defense is just ridiculous. So at home, they're only allowing 68 points per game. That's wild. Okay, so within the arc, not doing great here. Field goal percentage, still giving it up. So this might be a point for the Liberty here. The Suns' paint field goal percentage allowed still towards the bottom, defending everything else really well though. And number one in above the break 3-point field goal percentage allowed. The Liberty are shooting at the second highest rate, but not efficient at all on the road here. All right, so looking at this and looking at the numbers, so Liberty +1. I don't understand why they're favored here. I think if I remember correctly, I think they actually were. I think Connecticut opened up as favorite. There you go. Connecticut did open up as favorites, moved over to New York, and we're actually seeing some 1.5s. All right. So I was just looking at the Wager Talk live odds screen page for those numbers. Yeah, so we're actually seeing some Liberty 1.5 here. I don't agree with that. I think the Sun have been very dominant, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Looking at the team total, I'm actually seeing 79.5 for the team total for New York, and I would think that the play here is the Liberty team total under. I love the pace of play here. Obviously, the Liberty pace of play comes down on the road. Like I said, I think their offensive numbers might be a little bit misleading just due to who they faced so far this season. And the Sun, they just continue to dominate defensively. I think one thing here that I could see the Liberty, be successful at is really in the paint. But other than that, I don't see them getting to the free throw line. The Sun creating a lot of turnovers. I feel like the Liberty team total under is the way to go here. So that's probably what I'm gonna bet. 79.5 Liberty team total under. So that is the game. That's the game. Liberty versus Connecticut Sun. I use the moneyballer.com here. If you guys haven't tried it out, you can try it for free until August. That's themoneyballer.com. You can see it kind of scrolling on the bottom down there. Yeah, with that said, guys, good luck with all your action. Till next time, peace.